Ladies and gentlemen, our next guest may be the most stalwart industry advocate we have. She leads the industry that has been a backbone of our work for decades and is experiencing quite a renaissance. President and CEO of the Nuclear Energy Institute, Maria Korsnick, is an engineer by trade and spent years gaining hands-on reactor operations experience. She's a tireless leader in a complex industry, which is seeing reactors restarted and new build announcements at a rapid pace. Through her work with the Nuclear Power Labor Management Committee, she has worked to grow the tripartite relationship, which is so critical due to the highly complex nature of the nuclear industry. Please join me in welcoming my friend and your friend, Maria Korsnick.
Well, good morning, everyone. I want to start by really thanking NABTU's Governing Board of Presidents for their contributions to the nuclear industry and for inviting me here today. And I'm especially grateful to stand up here alongside three members of NEI's Board of Directors, Sean McGarvey, Mark McManus, and Kenny Cooper. The industry thanks you for your steadfast support. And of course, I'm so grateful to be here with all of you, the leaders and advocates of building America's future. I'm here to talk today about the opportunities that are ahead of us, because right now, the nuclear industry is getting ready to build. And we're very eager to work together to get that job done. Our partnership with labor runs deep. The very first commercial nuclear power plant came online in Shippingport, Pennsylvania in 1957. And thanks to all of the unions that helped to build it, including IBEW Local 712. Today, our current fleet is operating at historically high levels of safety and reliability. Nuclear delivers 1/5 of our nation's power because of the pipe fitters, the welders, the iron workers, the electricians, the teamsters, the masons, the laborers, the sheet metal workers, the operating engineers, and all the American workers who are making it possible. And there are even more possibilities ahead of us. Together, we can deliver next-generation nuclear power to our nation's boldest ambitions. And that's really what I want to talk to you about today, why we're building, and what we're building, and how we're going to build it together. Right now, electricity demand is growing faster than at any point in decades. Data centers, artificial intelligence, manufacturing, electrification across the economy, all of it demands more power. Data center electricity alone is projected to triple by 2030. And increasingly, our country needs power that's reliable, it's clean, it's available 24/7 at scale. And no one understands that better than the people right here in this room. But now, public and private sector leaders alike, as well as everyday Americans, are realizing that nuclear can and should be part of that solution. At the federal level, nuclear has strong bipartisan support, which has yielded tangible results. On Capitol Hill, lawmakers from both sides of the aisle are rallying behind nuclear. In 2024, Congress overwhelmingly passed the Bipartisan Advance Act to make our regulatory process more efficient without compromising safety. And I want to thank you, all of the folks in this room who helped make that possible. Congress has also taken action to protect critical nuclear tax credits that have worker protections like the Davis-Bacon prevailing wage and apprenticeship standards, which help create new nuclear jobs. That's a major win for American workers, and we work together to get it across the finish line. And we have the bipartisan ARC Act. It's Accelerating Reliable Capacity, and it was introduced earlier this year. It aims to accelerate the commercialization of next-generation nuclear technologies by reducing some of the financial risk that's associated with those early new builds. Projects that are selected will be constructed with the help of prevailing wage protections. The White House, too, has thrown its weight behind nuclear. Last year, the president signed 4 executive orders to bolster nuclear, and progress is already underway. The DOE Reactor Pilot Program aims to have 3 reactors achieve operational milestones by July 4th of this year. And the success of these projects would mark a major milestone in American advanced nuclear. Support is also at the state level. It's at an all-time high. In 2025, 45 states engaged in nuclear policymaking. State legislatures introduced more than 350 bills and enacted more than 60 measures in just the past 12 months. And just a few weeks ago, all 6 New England governors signed on to a regional commitment to explore advanced nuclear. And in business, leaders are investing in nuclear to power their ambitions. Big tech alone now has 40 gigawatts of electricity in the pipeline. That's equivalent to 40 large reactors. This year, Meta announced 3 new nuclear deals with 3 separate companies. Amazon has invested more than $1 billion in nuclear projects, from building SMRs to keeping existing plants online. We're not just seeing enthusiasm here in the United States. There's momentum for nuclear around the world. In the past year alone, the US has signed a number of landmark agreements with international partners from the United Kingdom all the way to Japan. And other countries, well, they're watching what we're doing, and we have to be ready to export our technology, because increasing nuclear exports can also lead to significant growth in American jobs. Some models predict it could more than double the number of export-related jobs by 2040. So, lawmakers really see nuclear's potential. Business leaders see nuclear's potential. And the world sees nuclear's potential. So now is that moment to turn our nuclear ambitions into action. And in fact, we've already begun. 3 years ago, Vogtle Units 3 and 4 came online in Georgia. These were America's first new nuclear reactors in 3 decades, and they were built by more than 8,000 NABTU members under a union project labor agreement. Now, Vogtle was a major milestone for nuclear here in America, but it was just the beginning. We're undertaking major projects to reinvigorate the current fleet. We're restarting 3 existing reactors that had previously been shut down. That includes the Duane Arnold plant in Iowa, the Crane Clean Energy Center in Pennsylvania, and Holtec's Palisades plant in Michigan, which will be supported by the trades. Reviving the plant is expected to secure 600 permanent jobs And that's on top of the additional 1,000 or so construction and maintenance jobs that happen during routine refueling and maintenance periods every few years. We're adding capacity in addition to our existing assets because 3/4 of the fleet are working right now on power uprates. And these aren't just little tiny power uprates. We're talking major renovations requiring many skilled hands and experienced minds, and they can yield nearly 5 gigawatts of new power, and that's equivalent to 5 large reactors. We're also working to build out our domestic fuel supply. For example, Orano is planning an enrichment facility in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, and has just signed a memorandum of understanding with the building trades as it prepares for this construction. And finally, and maybe most exciting of all, we're breaking ground on advanced nuclear projects. These leverage the latest technology to create reactors in all different shapes and sizes. In Wyoming, TerraPower just received a construction permit to break ground on its new Natrium reactor, and leaders signed a project labor agreement affirming that this next generation reactor will be built by union workers. Now, many of these new designs are modular, with parts that can be prefabricated in a factory. Simpler designs mean more builds, more construction sites, and crucially, more workers are needed. But think about it. These pieces won't do any good if there's no one around to put them together, whether that's with a wrench or a welding rod or a set of electrical wiring. And even then, a fully constructed reactor isn't going to do us any good if there's no one there to hook it up to the grid or connect it to that data center. So that's the task ahead of us right now. We're building today, but to fully realize our ambitions, we need to grow the workforce of tomorrow. Now, right now, there are about 68,000 full-time workers in the nuclear industry. By 2050, we will need more than 200,000. That's why NEI is doing direct outreach to young people, and not so young people, about career opportunities in nuclear. Last year, we launched Nuclear Works. That's a website that's designed to raise awareness about nuclear career opportunities. And we're working to get the message out to workers across the nation. The nuclear industry needs you. We've also expanded our engagement with high schools, and of course, we're incredibly proud of our partnership with you, with all of America's unions. Together, we've notched wins on Capitol Hill and in state houses around the country. We've collaborated to expand access to apprenticeship programs, and we've already seen results. 2 years ago, NABTU saw their greatest growth in apprenticeship programs since the 1950s, and pre-apprenticeship programs have also grown by 40% just in the last few years. We've worked together to tackle big challenges and find innovative solutions, and we're just getting started because we know that you, the people in this room and in your locals back home, you're the future of the nuclear workforce. And we know that when we work together, we always get the job done. The theme of your gathering here today is a deal's a deal. And for our part in the nuclear industry, we're proud to deliver the kind of deal that American workers can count on, not just next week, not just next year, but for many decades to come. Together, we're building a future where safety always comes first, a future where everyone is paid fairly for skilled work and hard-won experience, a future where you can build a lifelong career, raise a family, and support the economic health of your entire community. And together, we can power America's biggest, boldest ambitions yet. Thank you.
Maria, hold on one second. Hold on one second, Maria, before you walk off stage. I just want to let this group know that what a real partner she is. There are, as you're well aware, all kinds of new technologies that have been being developed for years now, going back to demonstration grant funding in the Obama administration, that we secured relationships with, and many we didn't. So there's lots of new players that are coming into the game that we don't have relationships with, that they've theoretically been working on designs, and then they're getting to the point of deployment. So building relationships with these folks that they have no experience with us, takes some getting used to. A little like dating. The first date might not go great. The second date might be a little better or maybe not, but I just want this group to know. She mentioned Reno briefly in her remarks. Well, that project that we signed a memorandum of understanding on this morning is a $5 billion uranium enrichment plant in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. And from Moreno to all the other new players, she is our advocate. Whenever we need help, she's there. She puts the parties together. She is a real partner for the building trades in the nuclear industry, and I want to make sure I thank Maria for all that you do for us. Thank you.